Hello sir, hello classmate, a blessed day to us. As per the given topic that I would be discussing with you, let's talk about the police system of India and its differences and similarities with the Philippine police system. The Republic of India is a country in South Asia. It is the seventh largest country by area, the second most populous country and the most populous democracy in the world. We will tackle the chapter's content, and after discussion, we will analyze and adapt what we learn in today's topic that explain the concept of the Indian police system. So in chapter's content, so madidiscuss natin mamaya yung overview, the historical background, the birth of the Indian Police Service or the IPS, the organization, the rank classification, the IPS organizational chart, the IPS insignia and uniform, the recruitment and selection, the firearms and equipment, the best practices, and the other details. So let's talk about the overview. We have the country, the India. So they have the police agency, as we call the Indian Police Service or the IPS. The department or the controlling authority is the Ministry of Home Affairs in the government of India. Date of establishment in 1805, 118 years ago as Imperial Police. So in 1948, 75 years ago as Indian Police Service. Their police system is the highest rank of Director General and the lowest rank is the Constable. Their motto is to protect the society from evil-minded outlaws, criminals, and the strong. Itong India is centralized so iisa lang yung police system nila like the Philippines. So yung strength nila is 4,984 as of 2022. Yun yung na-search natin and ibang info na nakuha natin about the India police system. So let's go to the historical background of IPS. In 1861, the British Parliament introduced the Indian Councils Act. The Act created the foundation of a modern and professionalized police bureaucracy in India. It introduced a new cadre or corps of police called Superior Police Services, later known as the Indian Imperial Police. Indian Police Service, or what we call the IPS, is an all-India service which is recruited, trained, and managed by the central government and which provides the bulk of senior officers to the state police forces. It comprises two branches, so it's called the Superior Police Service, also known the Indian Imperial Police, will later be formed as the Subordinate Police Service. The Indian Imperial Police, referred to variously as the Imperial Police or simply the Indian Police or by 1905 Imperial Police, was part of the Indian Police Services. Let's talk about the birth of the Indian Police. So dito natin matatakal kung saan nga ba nagmula ang Indian Police Service. So in 1902 to 1903 under Sir Andrew Fraser and Lord Curzon. So itong mga tao na to, so sila na nga yung founder nung Indian Police. So 1903 and 2 and 3 sila. So take note tong dalawang founder na to. So in 1948, the Imperial Police was formally replaced by the Indian Police Service or the IPS. So sa Article 312 of the Indian Constitution, the Indian Police Service was founded as one of the three All India services in 1950. And now let's talk about the organization. So sa Pilipinas, meron tayong Chief of PNP, saka meron siyang routes for deputy, na meron siyang operation and the administration. So ito namang organization nila is we have the two arms of state police forces are civil and the armed. So the civil police are in charge of maintaining peace and order and preventing crime on a daily basis. So sa armed police naman, are maintained on standby until emergencies such as riots necessitate further reinforcement. So, yung armed police nila as equivalent to the Philippines is, para sa akin, is the SWAT. Kasi sila yung mga, andyan sa, sa land, pag may mga riots. So, pag sa, naman, sa mga army is meron tayong mga ranger naman. So, what we call the ranger. So, under the Criminal Procedure Code, all crime has to be recorded at the police station and all preventive, investigative, and law and order work is done from there. Meron to sa, sa module, no? So, addition lang. In the field establishment, there is functional distribution of work too. Senior officer assists the Director General of Police in looking after different aspect of police work. So, parang sa mga police na meron sa provincial, national, sa mga city, municipal. So, eto naman, may mga district sila and mga subdivision na may mga naka-assign na police. So, yun yung organization nila. Differ naman sa organization ng police, ay Philippine Police System. So, sa rank classification nila, meron tayong superior services, meron tayong subordinate services. So, let's go to the superior services or mga highest rank naman tong mga to. So, first, the director or inspector general of police or the head of the state police. So, itong itong inspector general of police nila, equivalent to the chief PNP natin dito sa Pilipinas. So, the Deputy Inspector General of Police or the Head of Range Police or Commissioner of 4 cities called as the Madras, Bombay, Calcutta, and Rangoon. So, hindi tao tong Bombay, ha. It called the, city. Hindi siya tao kasi dito sa Pilipinas is tinatawag na pag may Indiano, nakikita natin Bombay, diba? Hindi siya. City to city. So, let's go to the Superintendent of Police or the Head of District Police. And the Assistant Superintendent of Police or the Head of Sub-Divisional Police, especially the main subdivision of a district. So, let's go naman to the subordinate services or to the low, naman na to, medyo pinakamababa na. Then, matatakal natin dito yung lowest rank. So, let's go to the Deputy Superintendent of Police or the Head of Subdivisional Police, Inspector of Police or the Head of Circle Police, Sub-Inspector of Police or the Head of Police Station. So, sa atin may mga head din tayo sa police station naman. So, sa kanila is Sub-Inspector of Police. So, meron dito yung sergeant, one of each police station and should be European or Anglo-Indian. Tapos, sunod is the head constable and meron tayong senior constable. So, matatakal natin yun mamaya. And the last or the lowest rank is the constable. So, let's go to the IPS organizational chart or the Indian Police Service. Superintendence over the police force in the state is exercised by the state government. The head of the police force in the state is the Director General of Police or the DGP, who is responsible to the state government for the administration of the police force in the state and for advising the government on police matters. So, meron tayong organizational chart as sa Pilipinas, meron tayong PNP chart, diba? So, meron din silang IPS organizational chart. Makikita natin dyan yung highest to the lowest rank. So, now let's go to the IPS insignia or uniform. Makikita natin dito yung pagkaka-difference or pagkakaiba ng damit ng Pilipinas, yung mga police natin, then sa police naman ng India. So, yung standard uniform is the khaki. The rank, post, and designation of IPS officers vary from state to state as law and order is a state matter. So, yung damit natin is almost the blue or the navy blue or the sky blue. Sa kanila is khaki. Yung khaki is para siyang rust, para siyang brown. Ganun. Para light brown. So makikita natin mamaya. Meron yan. Sa site natin yan mamaya sa mga insignia and uniform nila. So, there are different symbolic recognition or the insignia or the two different designation in police cadre. These are in forms of stars, badges, flags, etc. We shall start identifying the designations from the highest rank to the lowest. So, sa insignia and uniform nila, so added lang natin no, yung Director of Intelligence Bureau. So, meron silang Director of Intelligence Bureau, which is the salary and status are equal as Secretary of the Government. So, yung highest rank nila is the Director General of Police. So, sa atin is the Chief PNP. A Director General of Police has an ashok emblem, a crisscross of a sword and a stick, and IPS written below it. His official vehicle also has 3 stars and a rectangular flag, red and blue. So, meron tayong naka-indicate dyan sa PPT. So, makikita natin dyan, meron yung car, meron yung sa IPS insignia niya. Additional Director General of Police has an ashok emblem, a crisscross of a sword and a stick, and IPS written below it. His official vehicle has 3 stars and a rectangular flag colored red and blue. Inspector General of Police or an IGP has a star, a crisscross of a sword and a stick, and IPS written below it. An IGP's official vehicle has 2 stars and a flag colored red and blue. So, mas mababa yung position niya, so we have the 2 stars. Deputy Inspector General of Police. A DIG has an ashok emblem, 3 stars, and IPS written below it. A DIG's official vehicle has 1 star and triangular flag, red and blue. So let's go to the Senior Superintendent of Police, or an SSP. Has an ashok emblem, 2 stars or white colored, and IPS written below it. The same badge is for the Deputy Commissioner of Police. The post of an ACP exists only in metro cities because the concept of the designation of commissioners is mostly for metro cities. So, natakal natin yung 4 na cities kanina. So, dun lang nakakabilang yung Senior Superintendent of Police. Superintendent of Police. He has an ashok emblem, a star, and IPS written below it. Next rank is Additional Superintendent of Police. He has an ashok emblem and IPS written below it. So, let's go to the next rank. Meron tayong Deputy Superintendent of Police. So, meron siyang 3 stars. Color white siya sa shoulder strap. So, meron din name of the state below it. So, mapapansin natin na wala siyang red and blue stripe for the designation such as this and above. So, same badge for the Assistant Commissioner of Police. The post of an ACP exists only in metro cities. So, nabanggit kanina kung ano yung mga metro cities na yun. So, because the concept of the designation of commissioners is mostly for metro cities. So, sa Assistant Superintendent of Police, pag first year siya, meron siyang 1 star and IPS. So, sa second year ng training niya, he has 2 stars and IPS. So, sa third year of training, he has 3 stars and IPS written on it. So, yung next rank natin is we have the Inspector. So, yung Inspector nila is meron siyang 3 star, which is colored yellow on the shoulder strap, a red and blue stripe below it, and the name of the state below it. So, we have the Sub-Inspector Meron naman siyang 2-star and colored yellow on the shoulder strap, a red and a blue strip below it, and the name of the state below it. So, next is the assistant sub-inspector. Has a star and yellow colored on the shoulder strap, a red and blue stripe below it, and the name of the state below it. So, sa inspector, we have the 3-star. So, kulay yellow siya. Sa sub-inspector, we have the 2-star. And last, this is the assistant sub-inspector. We have the 1-star. So, ngayon is matatakal naman na natin yung mga lowest rank. So, sa atin, sa Pilipinas, lowest rank natin is the patrolman, which is nagpapatrol sila sa mga barangay, ganun. Which is yun yung mga tanod na sinasabi natin. Or sa cities, meron din naman. So, let's go to the head constable. A head constable has 3 V-shaped red, white, yellow, depending on the state. Lines on either sleeve of their uniform with the state's name below and a round cap. Kung meron tayong head constable, meron naman tayong next is the senior constable. Senior constable has 2 V-shaped red, white, yellow, depending on the state. Color lines on either sleeve of their uniform with the state's name below and a round cap. So last but not least, ito na yung lowest rank ng IPS or what we call the Indian Police Service, the constable. Constable is the lowest rank in the police department. They have a blank shoulder strip with the state's name below and a round cap, except for Maharashtra Police Department's constable who wear a Guardian style cap instead of a round one. Natapos na natin yung insignia and uniform ng IPS. So, let's go to the recruitment and selection. So, makikita natin and matatakal naman natin, mababasa natin dito sa may paper na kung ano yung recruitment and selection nila. Differ to the Philippines. Kung paano sila mag-recruit, meron yung mga training nila. So, makikita natin dyan. So, ngayon, matatakal lang natin yung mga other requirements nila. So, the prestigious post in the country and the IPS exam is part of the UPSC Civil Services exam. So, yung UPSC is the Union Public Service Commission. So, meron tayong eligibility for appointment. Meron tayong age between 18 to 23 years old. The education, natakal natin yung eligibility for appointment. So, ngayon naman, eligibility for IPS exam or the Indian Police Service exam or para sa mga officers. So, meron tayong tatlong requirements, mga information. So, naka-indicate naman na yan sa paper. So, meron tayong eligibility to meet and physical fitness and other requirements. Meron tayong age and number of attempts criteria. Then last is the eligibility criteria for the IPS exam. So, meron naman tayong sunod is the firearms and equipment. So, ito makikita natin yung mga differences saka similarities ng firearms natin sa equipment sa India and the Philippines. So, sa India, iba't iba yung klase ng firearms nila. So, meron tayong Indian military or the police rifles. Meron tayong police sidearm. So, ito yung mga 9mm, ganun. Mga Glock 19, mga barete, PX4 Storm. So, meron naman tayong police machine gun. So, syempre, mas maraming equipment or firearms ang mga ibang bansa kumpara sa atin. So, mga modern na sa kanila and mas advanced. So, meron din silang Indian military or the police submachine guns, police marksman rifles. So, kanina natakal natin yung mga firearms. So, ngayon naman, matatakal natin yung mga police cars nila. So, we have the Mahindra Bolero or the Pan India. Next is the Tata Xenon, the Maruti Suzuki Ertiga, the Mahindra Scorpio or the Pan India, the Maruti Suzuki Gypsy or the Indian Army, the Tata Safari Stormy, the Mahindra TUV 300, the Toyota Innova or the Delhi NCR, the Tata Nano. So, ito yung ginagamit nila para mag-patrol and secure the people around them. So, sa IPS or the Indian Police Service, matatakal natin dito ngayon is yung mga best practices nila. So, sa Philippines, alam naman natin na meron tayong mga outposts, mga organizations, mga practices, mga programs. So, syempre, iba yung sa kanila sa atin. So, meron tayong outpost para andyan yung mga tanod, mga patrolman para tingnan kung sino yung mga lumalabas, pasok sa barangay, mga ganun, sa city, or syempre, mag-check din sila, mga kahinahinalang galaw. Then, meron tayong mga organization na tumutulong or nagpapahayag ng mga kailangan gawin. Ganun. To protect our lives. So, meron silang, so sa best practices naman, meron silang Jana Maitri Suraksha in Kerala. So, this is to facilitate greater accessibility, close interaction, and better understanding between the police and local communities. Then, meron din, so ang trabaho din nito is to know at least one family member of every family living in his pit area and allocate some time to meet with people outside the police station every week. So, siguro sa kanila, kailangan nilang pumunta para, syempre, if other information or may mga gusto silang reklamo, ipahayag, gano'n. So, last is, itong dyan na Maitri Suraksha is to facilitate the process. So, process to with municipal councilors, representative of residents, association, local media, high schools and college, retired police officers, or etc. So, now, we have the Mayra Paibi or torch bearers in Assam. So, pag sinasabi nilang Mayra Paibi, sila yung women torch bearers. So, meron example dyan na may mga babae na nakahawak ng torch. So, sila yung mga babae na nag-social movement in the Indian state of Manipur, or referred to as the guardians of civil society. So, the women of the Manipuri Basti in Guwahati help with improving the law and order problem in the area by tackling drug abuse among the youth, sabi niya, to prevent the youth of the area from going out after sunset. So, now, let's go to the other details. So, naka-indicate naman dyan. So, ito lang yung mga katulong nila na mga roots ng system nila para makatulong sa investigation, mga information nila para makalutas ng isang kaso, mga problema ng mga kababayan nila. So, ngayon meron tayong police telecommunication network, or what we call the POLNet. The POLNet project was initiated by the central government in 2002 to connect the police and paramilitary forces of the country through a satellite-based communication network that will be significantly faster than the existing system of radio communications. So, meron tayong Bureau of Police Research and Development, or the BPRD. The BPRD was set up with the mandate to identify the needs and problems of the police forces in the country. So, meron din silang training academies. So, meron dyan. Then, the National Crime Records Bureau, or the NCRB. The NCRB is an institution that collects and maintains records on crime across the country. So, sa Central Bureau of Investigation, or the CBI, the CBI is an investigating agency set up under the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act 1946. It is responsible for investigating serious crimes. So, sa Intelligence Bureau, or the IB, the IB is the Central Intelligence Agency for all matters related to internal security, including espionage, insurgency, and terrorism. The National Security Guards, or the NSG, they specialize in carrying out counter-terrorism, counter-hijacking, and hostage rescue operations. In addition, it provides VIP security and security for important events. So, ang daming nakakatulong ng mga agency, mga patawag dito, mga government na mapapabilis yung investigation nila. Makakalap sila ng information na mabilisan para ma-protect din yung mga lives and ma-prevent yung mga hindi kaya-kayang gawain. Then next is the Central Reserve Police Force, or the CRPF, deployed for law and order, counter-insurgency, anti-nasal and communal violence operations. And the Central Police Forces, the center maintains various central armed police forces and paramilitary forces, of which 4 guard India's border and 3 perform specialist tasks. And we have the Assam Rifles, or the AR, the guards India borders with Myanmar. So, meron tayong Border Security Force, or the BSF, guards India's border with Pakistan and Bangladesh. So, sila may mga sa borders ng India is meron silang mga forces, mga security na nakabantay. So, meron naman tayo sa China and sa Philippines. So, pinag-awayan ng West Philippine Sea. So, meron naman tayong mga Coast Guard doon na nagbabantay. Tumutulong na promoprotekta doon sa mga Pilipino, lalo na sa mga mangingisda. So, we have the Indo-Tibetan Border Police Force, or the ITBP. Or, sila naman yung nag-guard sa border within the China. So, the Sashastra Siyama Bal, or the SSB, guards India's border with Nepal and Bhutan. So, the Central Industrial Security Force, or the CISF, provides security to critical infrastructure installations such as airports, atomic power plants, defense production units, and oil fields. So, ang daming agency, mga institution, government na tumutulong. And, yun yung mga other details na pwede nating makalap or pwede nating papuntahan. And if ever na pupunta ng India, and if ever na may mangyari, then alam natin kung saan tayo pwede mag-report, then magbigay ng info, and other details and other info. And additional to the other details, so meron tayong mukbir, or the informers. It provides information for financial compensation. Police agencies budget for their mukbirs because they are the eyes and ears of police. So, take note, They are the eyes and ears of police and help resolve cases.